I felt really sorry for that dude, though, because he'd just come back into the game, and one tank decided to die and demanded to see his resto stuff, or else. Or else what? What are you actually going to do on the internet? What are you going to do to make anything bad for that person apart from have a tantrum? Like that pug where there was a healer who got booted for low DPS. Oh, man. People are precious. There's no need for it. It's fucking madness. We can do bust all caps on me. Right? I'm going to type really hard. Don't understand why you'd give so much salt about 1 hour of your game time. The stupid thing is, right? The tank was at fault. And all he had to do was go, oh, shit, my bad. And then carry on. Everyone would have been fine. But no, he had to get really personal with the healer. The healer actually felt bad. He honestly was about to leave and say, do you want to get a better healer? There was fuck all wrong with him. Show us your badges. Oh, dear. Angry keyboard noises, right? I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I mean, I can. I've seen it. But on stream, we got to see an insta tantrum. It was crazy. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who hurt you? Can they do it again? It did a shit job. It's harsh. No, it's not. Average Link achievement player, indeed. But yeah, the healer was doing really, really well. Bear in mind, by the way, I was on a DPS. I was on the Lazy Sork. And in that fight, I lived with the healer helping me survive. So the heals were sufficient enough to keep up a DPS. So they're definitely sufficient enough to keep up a tank who has much more health and is more chunkier. But nope, the healer was to blame, apparently. I think, well, dude, logic does not fit into that scenario at all. You fucked up. Just admit it. If I miss a block, or I pull the boss wrong, or I die, whatever, it's on me. It's a much, much easier thing to do than argue the toss for no reason. Just go, yeah, my bad. Or lag, say lag. I just realized I was gifted a member, or a sub, so thank you to whoever that was. It should say who it was. It's sad, I've been in dungeons where the healer was kicked for bad heals. We cleared it with 3 people. Shake my head. I know, right? It's fucking mad. And here's the problem. And it's people's own problem, right? Those are the individuals that kick off and say, oh, we want other players to be better. Like, really? How are people going to be better? Well, for what you expect them to be, if you don't give them a fucking chance. Or if your knowledge and ability is so much better, why don't you use that privilege to help people rather than just dismissing them and expecting it to happen? Expect away. The most tanks sustain themselves. They should be able to. I mean, it's nice if other people can help, but you should be able to survive. I mean, that's kind of the most important part about being able to take a hit, is if you can't take a hit, don't try. Oh, I'll show you. We actually found this. We found it. It exists in the game. It's the devs' polite way of telling you how things really are. Ready? While I am... Have I got aggro? Taunted? Happy days. Right. Check this out. Social. Group. We'll look at the role. Tank. Absorbs damage from enemies and prevents allies from being attacked. Sorry if that's confusing. That's exactly what I'm doing.
I love winnings. Drinks all around.
Thank you for the follow. I understand people who just go into a pug and expect people to conform to their expectations. You get what you get in a pug, it's fine. Exactly. And the logic should be applied both ways. If you expect everyone else to be better, then they also expect you to let them get their fucking quest done. Where the fuck am I going? I always got it wrong way here. What's wrong with letting people play and try to figure it out? Nothing. Except... ego is at stake. You want a specific thing? Call your friends. It's not hard. Correct. But then you also have to acknowledge the fact that they don't have any. And that becomes a different issue. Good both points of view, right? That's why the new group find is going to help. And I also mentioned this on the Bethesda stream. So before anyone gets really fucking salty and goes, no, it's fucking salty, bro. It's fucking toxic. No, you misunderstand all those terms. Stop making up words and thinking they mean things. They don't. I stated in the Bethesda stream, for both sides of the coin is going to be beneficial. So for people that only want to play with people of their own skill level, or their own assumed skill level, because some are more up here than they are in here. Like, they think they're better than they are. But if you only want to play with those types of people, you only want to do really, really hard achievements, you only ever want to do that stuff, you can make a group and set the rules for that. And if you want to pace it, learn stuff, or just play casual, if you want to use that fucking word, or just whatever, take your time, introduce new people, or even run a group to help new players, you can set the rules for that as well. So both sides of the coin now benefit. But although I say that, it's not heard. It's only heard by the normal people that can understand both sides. The one-way mentality, the me or nobody else, don't realize that I just tried to help them by saying it's okay for them to do what they want to do. It's really confusing for dumb people. Let me explain it again. People that want a chilled group, quite casual and willing to help each other, can set a rule for that. And people that want to try only the hard stuff and only want to play with people of their own skill level can do that as well. Is that easier? Everyone wins is what I'm trying to say. But you can't have that, because if everyone wins, no one can show off, can they? And that's what MMOs are about. Looking cooler than the person beside you. It sounds better than I thought it would be. At first I was thinking it's going to be a shit show, people getting kicked. No, because you can decide who joins your group before you go in. I was unable to find a VSE group during the Necrom event until I cheated the recruiter and did not mention I never played before, so I have no achievement or link. Run went absolutely fine. Of course it will, because you know why people cock block with stuff like that? It's not necessarily because they only want to play with people that have the achievements, because, I mean, that's fine if you want to do that, but it's because, generally speaking, the person that's asking you to link your achievement doesn't actually have it. So they are trying to put together a group that can guarantee their clear in the shortest space of time. Most of the time, that's true. We've got one over here too. I was bringing that... Never mind. So, logic would have dictated there that the group would have come to me as the tank, and that would have come with us. But never mind. Boing. So next time that happens, someone goes, hey, VSC hard mode, must show achievements. Show yours first. It's catch-22, isn't it? You can't get the job without experience, but you need to have the job to get the experience. Go figure. But anyway, that side, the group finder is going to be fucking solid, because it is now going to give you the full power to decide and create your own groups with less stress. You won't have to shout in local chat anymore. You can just, like, let's just say this is the window. It's not, but let's just say it is. This window here, you set your group up, you say what you want it to be, and people can just apply. And they can access that from absolutely anywhere in the game. They don't have to be in the same Craglorn instance as you. They can be anywhere. So, accessibility-wise to the broader side of the community, fan-fucking-tastic. And also, one more massive, massive change to that is that people that are nervous or anxious or unsure of how to interact with other people, because they'll shout in Craglorn and they'll get abuse from one person sitting there with nothing to do. Or they'll be in the wrong place at the wrong time and they won't have anyone join them. Or maybe they just don't know how to speak to other people and just don't speak to other people. All they have to do is post an advert. They don't even have to speak. It's going to fix a lot of issues. It may cause a few when it comes to the trial finder, because people are going to queue up as the wrong roles. But before you go into the instance, you can already vet everybody before you go in and decide if you've got exactly what you need, and you are fully within your rights to kick people that lie about what they're doing, because you've already set the bar. Rather than random dungeon finder, get in the instance, there's a shit canoe, everybody leaves, you're stuck on a lockout timer. You're not. That's not what that is. You don't have any of that shit. It's going to be fucking really, really banging. Words are hard. I was going to say brilliant and banging at the same time. Branging. There we go. Made a new word. Don't know how to speak to other people. You do? You speak to other people all the time. Watch this. Dodge roll into that and it'll pop. Did I really bring the ads in, or are you going to kill them all anyway? You're actually just nuking the boss or whatever. He's dead. There are mechanics to that, but that didn't happen. Boing, boing. Well played. Yep, I tried explaining that on the Bethesda stream. And, like I said, some people understood it. They're like, that means that if I want to play and teach people how to do stuff, or if I want to learn stuff, great. Or if I only want to play with the really cool people, I can. Great, everybody wins. But no. Some people made excuses, because some people have to be miserable all the time. Thank you for the confirmation. You're welcome. I just got done watching a YouTube video on the healing build for the Arcanist. What did you think of it? Did you hate it? Did you read the comment section underneath and deliberately listen to them instead? Because some of them are good. Some of them are ninjas. They're like, hey, I've been using this for ages. Great. And other ones are like, this will never work in content. It's not allowed. You know, the fun police. Who decide to tell you how to play your game even though they won't play with you. Lightning Staff of Ursus. Nice. The bear stick. I got that from ads, by the way. I just picked up a weapon from ads. Remember that one dude on the internet that once before decided to have an argument with me about how you can't get loot from ads? There's no point killing them. Look how wrong that was. We just proved it wrong again. Sticker book OP. Whee! Makes you wonder what will happen if the existing dungeon finder would become more or less toxic. I mean, it's still going to exist. And it will still have, well, basically what we have now. It's still there as a choice. But I think it will be less used. Astero, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. You good? Yeah, I'm good, dude. Fucking knackered as per usual. You know the drill. This way. Boing, boing. Actually wanted to know about the 1 bar for trial mode runs. Would they be valid? 100%. 100%. Every single one of my builds on the channel. I kind of explained that in the video anyway, but every single one of them is perfectly fine. The one thing you have to consider is obviously the white noise in the background about people complaining about VCR. Now, VCR, once upon a time, I did show on live stream that you could put a different... you could take off the weapon on your back bar because you don't fucking need it because you're only 1 bar, and you won't get the mechanic. But they changed that, and they made sure that you do get the mechanic because you still have to go through the motions. The lightning I'm talking about. But when they made it so everyone using a 1 bar or werewolf cannot ignore the mechanic because people were beating their own world records 1 bar builds, fact... what they did is they made it so that you can actually counter it. So you can legitimately damage shield and out heal the mechanic if that's the only option you've got, or if you choose to do that as a tactic. And even last week before, we did VCR on stream with 1 bar builds. It was absolutely fine. You don't take anywhere near as much damage as you used to, and it's just a case of whether you're built for it or not. Also, the funniest fucking thing is I put an Arcanist short out recently from a live stream. And someone in the comment section was like, oh, 1 bar builds can't do VCR anymore. While watching me do it. So, yeah, that was fun. But yeah, you can do all of them. There's no restriction to that. I can't hide. Apparently I can't hide. It was a fun moment on stream where my rotation was so bloody simple. I basically compared it to that of a racing game, the starting line. It goes bang, bang, bing. Well, basically, that was my skills. One, and then massive beam. And the dude in the comment section was like, yeah, well, you can't even use this in trials. Dude, I'm literally in VCR right now at that time. Like, what the hell? Amber, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Cooper Harley, how you doing as well? Stay away from the Bambies, by the way. You don't want to stay too close to the wall. This mechanic is quite simple. Stay the fuck away from everyone. You're carrying AoEs. You don't want to cross them over because otherwise you end up in trouble. I tried to taunt that. Didn't happen. He died. But healer build, yep, 100%. You've been told they don't allow. What absolute twat waffle did you listen to? No disrespect to you personally, but which one of the fun police decided to tell you that you can't play the game how you want to? What a fucking idiot. Something about lower buffs and debuffs. No, inaccurate. Depends on how you build. Let's face it, most healers are fucking 1 bar anyway because they only use 1 bar for heals. They use the other bar for damage skills. It's entirely up to you how you want to build. Yes, you can go into a trial with a 1 bar build and you can do it. Otherwise, if you couldn't, it would kick you out of the door, wouldn't it? It would say you're not allowed in here. What they're trying to do is restrict you from the content because they're scared that you might get it done. As simple as that. It's none of their business. Those individuals aren't even going to play with you, so why do they fucking care so much? It's crazy. Not allowed in trials. Make your own group then. Fuck them. That's what people fail to realize, right? This group finder is also going to stomp on a lot of that Facebook group shit. Not to say that they won't still exist, because obviously there's nothing wrong with making groups on Facebook if you want to, but understand the difference between locking people out of content that you don't actually have control of and playing how you want to play. So if you decide for your group you want to do this, that, and the other, that's fine. But trying to convince other people they're not allowed to do something that you don't like, it's none of your fucking business. And the group finder, again, will allow you to make your own group, set your own rules, and you can do what the fuck you want. So if you say, hey, I'm doing this trial, this is my new group, you can join if you want, 1 bar only, that shit canoe that has given you the wrong information cannot interfere with it. And that's essentially what people are doing. They're interfering with your gameplay with no intention of helping you with it. Just telling you what to do and what not to do to make themselves feel fucking validated online. You play how you want to play. If you want to play a 1 bar healer, play a 1 bar healer. If you want to play a 2 bar healer, play a 2 bar healer. If you don't want to play a healer at all, then don't. But what you have to consider also is if you do want to be involved in a group that is already pre-made, and they do have their own rules, they don't speak for the entire community, but they do speak for their own group. So that is a little different. If you're the leader of your group, you do get to decide what happens. But words mean things, and those aren't allowed in there. Only applies to that said scenario. It doesn't apply to the entire game because that's wrong. If everyone felt confident enough to go into trials, who would they sell the carry runs to? Correct. It's beating stupid with the stick. They're trying to make you feel bad so you don't try, so then you need them. You'll find that with new progs as well. And I hate the fucking time because really, I mean, progress isn't already OP as fucking got everything, is it? It's kind of the journey. But what people try to do is, as soon as they get their first clear as a group, instead of, yay, we're all done now, we did our thing, now we can get better at it. No, the first clear, the second that fucking score goes up, right, now we can sell carries on Facebook. Dude, you're flogging a dead horse. Ben, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Do you have 1 bar healer build for Hard Mode and Vet Trials? Yes, and they have been used on stream by individuals in the stream in Hard Mode Trials. So if you put, bollocks, what's it called? Book Wizard in the chat. That is a 1 bar Arcanist healer, and it's fucking stupid. Level 49, level 42, I can do numbers. Level 42, and have level 3 gear. See? Did you see how in the level up video, I teach you that you just pick up stuff off the ground and just use it, and if you find something better, just put it on while you're leveling? Imagine that. If you couldn't do that, you wouldn't be level 42 right now. Playing hard mode? Fucking right. And Book Wizard makes survival in Lightning in VCR trivial. It fucking does. Every single tick that Beam can do on that particular build can, depending on your build, out-heal a single Breath of Life per tick. Bear in mind, Breath of Life is only 2 targets, and you can only cast it once a second. That beam can hit all targets in the beam, and it heals every 0.3 seconds. So you can heal 3 times more efficiently than a single Breath of Life in one beam for multiple targets. I mean loads of them, rather than just 2. It's very, very powerful. Who was it the other day? I think Greg was using it in VSS with us the other night. And someone was in the tombs, and he just aimed at them. Boom, full health, done. Never quite understood the whole perspective of I have to be the best and all acknowledge my greatness is only people who care about others like you. Dude, it's exhausting. So, you're never going to fix it, okay? Because it doesn't want to be fixed. Some people just think that way. So, you have to kind of acknowledge that it exists and just try not to stress yourself out by changing it, because it will never change. You can't change people's minds. But, it's that mentality of people that haven't been brought up with games. People that finally found out they were cool rather than beating up kids behind the bike shed because they're like Wizards and Dragons. They decided to jump on the bandwagon of something that was popular, and now they try to dominate it. Now, welcome to the club. Fantastic, you found games, well done. Now enjoy them, rather than trying to shit on everyone else who's also trying to enjoy them. Now, competitiveness is one thing if you are actually competing against someone. Not when you're just trying to show off for the sake of it. Because you know that some people just throw their achievements into the wind and expect people to give them fucking cookies for it and act like it's a competition, but no one's competing against them. So if you're running around a racetrack and nobody else is with you, it's not competition. It's just you running around track. Don't go to your mate's house and go beat you because you weren't there. But you can't fix stupid. You can't force people to not say stupid things. All you need to do is understand your own mentality and understand that that doesn't make sense to you, so why should you fucking listen to it? Oh shit, that's a really long message. Hold on. Did it do it twice? No, it didn't. 1 second. Let me do this boss fight and then I'll read that, because I tried to read every single message, but if they're too long, I can't. That looks like it was copy and pasted and saved it to 2 messages, because it's massive. I'm gonna tell build to doom so. Oh shit! You died, Drea. What the fuck? Crazy loon. I was going somewhere with it and I lost my train of thought. Remember, if you drown me with messages, you don't get for me to answer them, because there's too many. I've got more achievements since leaving this group behind than any of them ever got while I was in them. You will do. It's validation. People want to be validated. Well, basically what they do, they go for an achievement and they get it. And they should be happy. They should be. But they're not happy, because they thought that once that achievement pops up on their screen, all of a sudden they are going to get rich and they're going to get all the girls. And nothing happened. Nobody cared. You should care, because it's yours. But expecting everybody else to, no, that's redundant as fuck. Don't bother. And because it doesn't happen, they go searching for the attention and demand it. And instead of saying, hey guys, I did a thing today, I'm really happy about it, and people saying, well done, they just go, well, I'm better than you, fuck you. And it's the wrong attitude to have. Bing. This is what I was talking. Oh, fucking hell, that's a long message. Hold on. Is Book Wizard of God on the site? Yes, it is. Let me kill this giant boss thing. Never quite understood the whole perspective. I've read that one already. Acknowledge my greatness. There are only people who care about others like you. I answered that one already. Do your mechanics while reading. Is Book Wizard on the website? Yes. Kind of randomly picked the new healer sets up to keep recent content with arc heals, but would rather check out proper build. Fair enough. It is there. Put Book Wizard in the chat. Don't get me wrong, I love to give damn. It's been broken for years. I couldn't care less what other people's opinions are. Fair. But you can't change how people think. They're just going to be doing that anyway. They jump on the bandwagon of the cool stuff and decide to just regurgitate it. They're the same people that basically pick up a game and say it's completed overnight. It's just self-validation. This is what I was told in 1 bar 10 build works for VSE and other trials. Yeah, it will work for BGs and some veteran content, but for harder vet content and hard modes, you're just losing out on buffs and debuffs. Remember that healing is 50% of the job. Wrong! The other part is buffing the team. Wrong. So, the 50-50 thing is something that you can choose to do if you want to. It's something that some people choose to do, and they can if they want. Again, but it's not intended. It's not the thing you have to do. You can play in this game how you like. Any class, any race, any role. That's a tagline. Sorry if that's confusing. You can play your character how you want. Are there ways to alter things in your favor depending on how your group is built? Of course there is. But do you have to do exactly as that one person on the internet tried to recommend, even though you don't know who the fuck they are? No. You can figure stuff out, but all by yourself, and you might find something that's better than what they're using. Or someone else might bring the buffs and bonuses that they're claiming that you need to bring, in which case they don't double stack, so you don't need to bring them anyway, so bring the biggest heals you can. It's up to you. Also, side note, check this out. I'm sorry if this is evidence enough, but watch. Healer. Heals and protects allies, keeping them alive throughout the battle. Everything else is gravy that you put on top. If you want to add stuff to that, do so. If you don't, then don't. It's up to you. But, one by healer will never be able to come close. Bullshit. I can assure you, if you bring a hard mode, you might feel like you perform well. Healer might be decent, but you will be very low on buffs, aka losing out on 50% of your job. False. That's why a one-bar healer is just not good enough for hard modes. That is inaccurate. Basically, what they've done is they tried to fluff a pillow there. They've tried to half agree with you because they know full well that they work, but then they tried to dismiss it by saying, no, they don't in the stuff that I find relevant. So what you've got there is a compliment sandwich. Or a backhand, basically. They've gone, yeah, well, do you know what? In Craiglorn, which was once upon a time considered difficult for those people, but they got good at it eventually. But in the thing that I'm doing now, that I'm kind of showing off my new mountain, yeah, you wouldn't be good enough. Bullshit. Try it. You never know. The thing is, everyone that says that doesn't have relative experience with other setups. If you only ever try one thing, you don't know what the other thing tastes like. It's a fact. There are many, many ways to build your group. There are billions of ways to make builds. There's lots of different ways for you to strategize outside of a built set-in-stone mechanic. The mechanics are set in stone. You can approach them how you want. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But finding people that are brave enough to actually test stuff out properly rather than just copy and paste the one way they've seen is very difficult to make happen. It's not that you can't, it's that people are scared. There's quite a lot of words. Basically, I don't understand buffs, debuffs, or healing in this game. Basically, yeah. So when someone tries to force you to believe something as absolute as that, they don't understand what the fuck they're talking about, and they're regurgitating what they've been forced to believe. What do you think the QA team use? This is gold, by the way, because I'm about to release a fact out there. People with that mentality assume, note the word assume, that the devs in the QA team use those builds, the ones they're trying to force you to use in that new content. Bear in mind that 9 times out of 10, the builds that people may be using in their content are made after the content is out. Chicken and the egg. The developers test extreme scenarios to nail down the validity of the content and its challenges based on all the many different ways that people might choose to play. They don't do the one-way thing. They will try extreme shit that you wouldn't even fucking dream of because the choices are there. It's just that some people don't want to take them. It's fine not to take them, but it's also not okay to then try and force other people to think that they have to do it your way or else. There is no else. What if you fail? Okay, get up again. You tried it, didn't work, try something else. But people are too scared to try lots of different things. They want a shortcut. So they only go for the one way that they've seen. So you're limited to very, very, very small demonstrations of success. If you only ever see the one way, you don't know what other ways there are. Great perspective, never thought of it in that direction before. It's true. Never understood what the issue was. Like, every character got unique buffs people give to each other. Like, DK brings major buffs to people like major brutality and sorcery. Other characters bring major minor prophecy, but not major. And other stuff. Yeah, I mean, you can mix and match stuff. Bear in mind, some of those people are the ones that will tell you, maybe, let's say in Elsewhere. Remember those groups that said 1 DK, 1 Warden, and fucking 10 Necros? Remember those? 1 DK, 1 Warden, 10 Necros, okay? Let's argue the fact, or agree to the fact that that happened, because it did. Those are the people that would also tell you it is optimized, and this is my DPS on the dummy. Okay, so they'll tell you that you got this X, Y, and Z DPS on the dummy. They won't tell you that they didn't use any Nightblades, but on the dummy they had a Nightblade bonus. They didn't tell you that they didn't use any Templars, but on the dummy they had a Templar bonus. And they didn't tell you that they had no Sorcerers, but they had a Sorcerer bonus. Those are minor ones, but if we're going to talk about min-maxing instead of minimizing their maximum, you need to understand that those variables are not there, so you could have gained them too. It's no good claiming that you know all the intricacies of things if you're going to deliberately miss them out and pretend they don't exist. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with you playing the way you want to play, and that is the point. You can, and so can they. But when someone spends so much time trying to force you to not play the way you want to, you got to ask yourself, what is their problem really? The problem is fear. You don't need them anymore. That is why I love spending time with Zai. Make streams. I learn so much about the game and every time I'm in. Good. Again, I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't play that way. That is the complete opposite of what I'm saying. I'm just saying make sure that you understand the whys and the hows and understand that there are other ways to do things if you want to. Stop listening to people trying to force you to go against what you believe or what you want to try out. How do you think builds happen in the first place? How do you think they happen? By players making them up. They don't come out of a box like that. You don't log in and go, oh, a new build. They are made by players. Players can think. Players can design builds. Players can figure out mechanics. Players can also stop you from making builds and can stop you from learning mechanics because they want you to only do one thing. Be careful what you listen to. Understand all the things that are around or available, and then you decide. Now my message got censored. Where did I read that? That's dumb belief you can't clear content with Pierre Roger, that's it. Yeah, even those are cool words made up over time. Bear in mind, once upon a time, those sets were told not to be used. The same as the Morag Tong thing I said recently. People have failed to realize that Morag Tong applies extra damage to the target, poison and disease damage. There's lots of poison out there, there's lots of disease out there, but people are so hell-bent on getting a 6% bonus from a DK Flame Breath. Have both. Yeah, but there's no yeah buts. If you want to argue about minimal bonuses that make a big, big difference, that one's bigger than the minimal bonus you're trying to push. Have both. And that isn't a threat towards anyone's mentality. That's to help you. You, if you're already OP as fuck, may have a gap. That's how competition works, by the way. Competitiveness in any sport, this isn't a sport, and it never will be, because it's too unbalanced to be that. But any sport, you don't copy the team you want to beat. You understand the team you want to beat. Because if you try to copy them, they're already good at what you're trying to copy. They're going to be better than you. Find a gap. Find a weakness and exploit it. Simple as that. You are never going to beat someone hand-to-hand combat if you know everything they do and you copy it. You might stalemate at best, but you won't beat them. You need to find their weakness. And if you're going to beat someone in a competition, again, find the weakness, exploit it, or explore other possibilities that they probably didn't do themselves. However, a way to prevent competition is to stop it from even trying. And that is what you're confronted with sometimes. Regardless of what people will claim to be their agenda, some people don't want you to achieve because they need you to need them. And it is what it is. Again, note very carefully, I'm not saying everybody does that. I'm just saying it exists. It does exist. And YouTube comments is a fucking haven for that shit. Let's go again. No, right, Matto. I don't know why he got nuked, but it's been permitted, don't worry. I think Matt's name was nuked by the bot. There is a skill level difference in this game, outside of other MMOs where you sit there and just play cooldown timers. And that is a divider, and that does hold a lot of weight when it comes to content being done. A lot of people try to put too much weight or pressure on the way that you play outside of your actual ability. Your ability is more important than the setup. Can they work hand in hand? Yes, of course they can. That's the point. But if you are shit at it, it doesn't matter what you're using.